What's up guys, welcome back. Today we're doing coffee soap number 3 in the coffee bar collection. We're doing Café Caramel. See my handy dandy drawing. This is my original drawing. This I'm taking out. I was doing a bit of ground coffee in here like a mica line, and I don't enjoy that. It's real gritty, it's real grainy. It's actually super rough. I've already test batched 2 of these actually, so I don't like it. It's coming out. This is my favorite design overall for coffee soap, and it's easy to make. It's pretty easy to make. Just a little pour off. I'm only going to do a single batch today, which means 1 mold only, 10 bars. Bob is back with us. I think I showed him in the last video. His handle it's cracked, but you know, he's super gluty, so. I said in my last video, I'm gonna say it again in case there's new people. I'm just gonna do a quick rundown of all the ingredients and then we'll make the soap. Oh, before I do any of that, go click all the buttons, like, subscribe, thumbs up, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a stranger, share us on social media. I pop some stuff on Instagram every now and then, so you can follow there. I was gonna say no goats today, but maybe we will do goats, or a goat. If you watched my last video, it's called Muffin Has Quints. So she had 5 babes. She rejected 1. That little babe lives in the house now. If you hear goat noises in the background, that's why. Let me just go grab her. Tell me that face isn't adorable. So this is Jelly Bean. Say hi, Jelly. Do you want to say hi? She's a dink. Go watch the last video. You'll see her. Say bye. But anyway, you're here for a soap video probably, so today's soap is Café Caramel. It's soap number 3 in the coffee bar collection. The other 2 are Colombian Cafe and French Vanilla, which you guys have already seen. I'll tag both of those videos in this video somewhere, probably towards the end. So when you're finished watching this video, just click on either one of those other 2 and it'll take you right to it. I put a subscribe link right down in the bottom right-hand corner of the video. I don't know which side it'll be on. Should be on that side. It'll pop up on a button that says subscribe. You can click on there. We went from 50 to 66 in like a couple days, so totally appreciate that. My next goal is 1,000 subscribers. We can do it. Tell everybody. All right, enough of me blabbering. So, making soap. Our base ingredients for all of our soap are olive oil, coconut oil, goat's milk, frozen in an ice cube tray. These are about 1 ounce a piece. Lye, aka caustic soda beads, sodium lactate that we use as a hardener. If a bar of soap has a lot of vanilla in it and we don't want that vanilla to act on the soap, and by act on I mean it's gonna do this. This is last week's bar. This is the French vanilla, and I didn't do anything with it. I just let it play out. So you ended up with this rich, dark chocolate on the bottom there. So this is our plain Jane bar. This has nothing in it. Olive oil, coconut oil, goat milk, and lye. And this is how our natural color comes out. And this is how something comes out with vanilla in it. If it has vanilla in it and we don't want it to play a part in the process, we use a vanilla stabilizer. That acts on the vanilla in the fragrance oil. It'll keep it from causing a color morph. We only use it in a couple bars, but because we want to let the vanilla play in this soap and let it change it to brown since it's a coffee bar, we're just gonna let it ride, let it do its thing, and we'll keep the natural color that it comes out. This is our oatmeal milk and honey bar, which I haven't made yet on camera. Like if you go to the Etsy site, you can always see all of our bars listed there. But this is one that we do use a vanilla stabilizer in, and you can see that it keeps it the same exact color as the plain Jane. Okay, so we talked about base ingredients. Each soap will have different ingredients that go into that specific design. This one today is the Café Caramel. Yes, I say caramel. Nobody corrected me last time, so we're gonna stay with it. So I was gonna read notes for this so I don't mess it up. Top notes, fresh brewed coffee. Mid notes, heavy cream. And base notes of caramel. The actual description says aroma of fresh brewed cappuccino filled with heavy cream and sweetened with sugary caramel. I like that. That sounds fancy. It actually smells kind of like a Starbucks Caramel Macchiato, which is amazing. Also my favorite Starbucks drink. That's the fragrance oil for this bar. We're gonna do titanium dioxide. We'll do it a little white drop swirl into the mold, and then additions on this, like all of the coffee fragrances, are fresh coffee beans and then fresh ground coffee as well. Tools for this, besides me, we're gonna need a couple of these big guys, 1 little guy, fragrance oil cup, measuring thing, soap mold. This is a piece of fence wire that I just shaped to fit this mold specifically. So we're gonna go down in handy dandy stick blender. 3 spatulas. That's not a rule. And as always, since we're doing cold process soap, we're gonna make up an ice bath just in case. Huh? What's this? You shall not know yet. That bar is actually coming to Etsy very soon. We mustn't forget handy dandy kitchen scale and the gram scale for measuring fragrance oil. Trying to say fragrance oil because what I did last time in my last video, like a doofus. Look guys, once you record it, it's done, and I'm in the editing process and I realize I did something stupid. So I have 2 options. I can either remake the entire video or just let it fly. So what I did last time is I kept saying, put my oil in my oil. Well, I have olive oil and coconut oil and fragrance oil, and I wasn't distinguishing between the 3, so I apologize for that. If you guys ever have questions, just throw them in the comments. I try to answer comments every morning. Drop it in the comments and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. I'm gonna have to stop this video and feed a baby goat, which is adorable. Fresh goat's milk. All right, baby, go bottle feeding. Did you have fun? Also, the grunt style standard issue hoodie. Somebody give me some love. I like to start with getting the milk cubes melted down, because that takes the longest. So those can be sitting there and melting while I'm doing other things. This is how we do it, y'all. I'm gonna do a video on this process from beginning to end, but that's what your milk cubes look like. I wanna buy these in silicone, because this is a pain to get out of these. Just like to get that going, get a little coating on everything, get a little bit of lye on every ice cube. Start off with our olive oil, coconut oil. Now we'll get this in a microwave. Easiest, fastest way to melt this in the most controlled environment. So easy peasy, right? Olive oil, coconut oil. Those are gonna melt and we'll blend those all together. Goat's milk and lye. Again, I'm just gonna cut this out because actually I've never timed this, but it takes about 20 minutes, I feel like. It also varies by humidity. If it's super humid outside, it'll kick this off so much faster. While that's melting, I just fiddle with getting this all blended together. For me, in my environment with my humidity, that microwave, I do 30-second stir, 20-second stir, and that puts me right at like 90 degrees. Which is right about where I want to be working. I haven't checked oil temps in a year. Once I learn my process, how do I say this? Different temperatures are going to speed up, slow down the saponification. I know I use the same process every time, so that oil is roughly the exact same temperature. It takes me about the exact same amount of time to stir up the lye, so that's a standard temperature. So for me, when I'm working them, almost always exactly the same. There's no need to put a thermometer in that and check the temperature every time. I bought a handy dandy infrared where you shoot a little laser into the oil and it tells you the temperature. And I did use that for quite some time in the beginning when I was learning. It's so precise with that microwave with the 50 seconds total. I don't use it anymore. I know how my oils act. I know how my fragrance oils act. And more importantly, I know how to cope with if it's speeding up a little bit, if it's slowing down a little bit. Do I need to stick blend it more or do I need to just leave it alone? Now, when I introduce new oils like the coffee bar you saw last video, the French vanilla gave me a fight the entire way, but I learned. Now, next time I make that, I'm just going to pop my fragrance oil in to each individual layer right before I pour it into the mold. That way I don't have to worry about it speeding anything up until I want it to. But yeah, this is just fiddle time, really waiting on these cubes to melt. I'll get the oils melted and blended. I'll get my fragrance oil blended. You might not see Nugget as much in this video because she's generally in there guarding Jelly Bean, unless she thinks I need to go in there and check on Jelly Bean, and then she'll come and get me. She's a good mama. Go to Instagram if you want. I posted a little video of her just snuggling Jelly Bean. It's adorable. All right, anyway, moving on with soap. There you go. So almost dead on 90. While we wait, if you guys are cool with it, if you've made it this far into the video, throw in the comments where you're from. Deborah is all the way from Northern Ireland, which is amazing. It's right next to my island, which is Scotland. I'd just like to know where I'm reaching. So if you guys comment, that'd be awesome. More waiting. Sodium lactate. I think it's recommended to put the sodium lactate in the lye solution, but I believe it also states that you can put it in during any part of the process. Told you this one's easy, so we're at stop and think time already. Do I have everything laid out? Yes. I have my oil measured out. I have my coffee beans. I don't need those right now. Sodium lactate, sodium dioxide, not sodium dioxide, titanium dioxide. This is going to be another, I guess you could call it a two-part pour. I'm going to mix this. I'm going to pour 12 ounces off into here, color this. I'm going to color this first before I put my fragrance oil in the whole combined batch, because as soon as you put the fragrance oil in the batch, it's going to speed things up. This oil isn't too bad. Some of your fragrance oils can speed up, or rice. It's pretty self-explanatory. You throw your fragrance oil in there and everything starts turning into what looks like little grains of rice. So since this is a two-part pour, I'll pour that off. We'll color that white. So this is all ready. Pour onto your spoon so you don't splash stuff in your eyes. We're going to stick blend this. So we're going to do light trace again. Hang on, let me bang out the air bubbles, because when I do this drop swirl, I want it to penetrate all the way down to the bottom. Barely going to whip it, it's just a little bit. Going to pour off our 12 ounces. If I go over a bit on that, no big deal. Made a bit of a mess. We're going to color this first. Just going to whip this a little bit. Nearly impossible to stir in the white. Some people do it by hand, which is crazy. Yeah, just leave that one in there. That's why you have 3 spatulas. That's not a rule. Fragrance oil. Now, I do not want to speed this up, so I am not going to stick blend that in there. I'm just going to hand whip it. I'm trying to catch that color change on camera. There it was, right there. That smells amazing. Starbucks Caramel Macchiato, my fave. Okay, see how thin that is? Exactly what I want. Doing one batch is super easy because it's all going in one mold. Not even gonna have to time lapse that. What? Now the fun part. My apologies. If I had the container right in front of where I was pouring, you couldn't see it. I've only been making soap for about 18 months, and almost all of that time has been not on camera. So I'm just going through my processes like I normally do, not thinking about where I'm holding containers so you can see better. I'm working on it, and my brain, I gotta say, no, hold the container over here so that people can see what you're actually doing. So that's poured off. We'll come back in about 20 minutes and we're gonna whip the top up just like the other bars and add the ground coffee and the coffee beans. Yeah. I forgot to wire this. So, nothing crazy. Boop, boop, boop. All right, so this is set up. This is set up. This is set up. The soap is set. So I'm just gonna spoon whip it like we did the last time. Just keep whooping, whooping, whooping. And then the dark French roast ground Arabica beans. Like bam, bam, bam. And then I know it looked really weird last time on camera. It looked like I was putting the bean right on the line, but I'm not. I'm putting the bean in the space. So when I cut, it doesn't. The bean is right in the middle of the bar of soap. Guess I could use a tweezer and not get soap on my fingers. Anybody know why it's a pair of tweezers instead of just a tweezer? Same with the scissor. So that's it. Pretty, pretty. Oh, so pretty. What's that from? VeggieTales. Go watch some VeggieTales, they're awesome. So that's done. We'll come back in 24 hours. We'll cut this and then I'll show you the original batch. So see you back in 24. Welcome back, guys. It's been 24 hours. Leave the cat alone, please. She protects the baby goat from everything. Even me. She put my arm in her mouth last night because I came in too fast trying to record a video and she got me. Not hard. And then she immediately regretted it because she backed up, dropped her head in her tail, and then she kind of scampered off like, I'm sorry, but it's fine. Love you, Nugs. So we're gonna cut our Café Caramel soap and then we'll show you the one that's already been cured. So the old one has been curing for 3 weeks. So you'll get to see it's a dramatic color morph from first made to cured. I guess let's get to cutting. Maybe I'll Bob Ross next to the camera. This happy little soap. One thing I wanted to mention, I think I mention it every time, but if you're using a coarse ingredient in your soap, which the coffee is, when we do our mint soap, when we do our oatmeal milk and honey soap, if I go right down through here, it's gonna drag all these coffee grounds right down through the soap and it's gonna streak it. So I can prevent a little bit of that by just flipping it sideways and just cut this way. Might not eliminate all of it, but trying to just mitigate whatever I can. So there's your bar. That's actually better than the first batch, I think. Very important to clean off your string every time. If you can see that, coffee grounds right there, and you'll end up with the same result, which is pushing those through the soap, causing scrape lines in the soap. I'll just slow down again and I'll show you one from the center. That one's really pretty though. Nice. Like I said, this is yesterday's, obviously, and this is the previous batch. This is a 3-week cure, and this is 24 hours. See how dark that turns? This is 7% vanilla. That's a huge amount of vanilla in a fragrance oil, so that's your transition right there. So if you've made it this far into the video and you're local, we have a show this weekend at the Springtime Fair in Urbana at the Champaign County Fairgrounds. So come check us out. You get to see everything we have. You'll get better prices on soap at the show. And if it means anything to you, you'll get to meet me in person, live and in person, or whatever. that's the coffee collection. Here are the 3 soaps from the collection. I guess on your right would be French Vanilla, in the middle would be the Colombian Cafe, and on your left would be Café Caramel. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Buzz on over to Etsy. You can see all of our soaps there, and we can ship right to your door. Come back. We're going to keep working through our whole line of soap, so you'll be able to see how all the soaps are made. Get a little sneak peek into it. That's it. Cool. We'll see you next time. Appreciate it. Bye.